Hi everyone, it's Kerry back with you today. So I'm here for the next part of our accordion journal, and I've picked out some papers that I would like to use on the inside of my journal. Now these are all double-sided pages and they're in those sort of nice cool tones in the greens and the blues. These are a very old Finnabair collection. I can't tell you the name of it, I'm sorry, because I don't have the original packaging, but they're probably a good 4 or 5 years old, so I'm not even sure if you'd be able to get them anymore. And I'm going to build the inside of this journal in the style of Susie from Shabby Soul. Now Susie did an excellent tutorial on how she makes these little accordion journals with this style, so I will link to her tutorial below. I'll probably just speed up this process so you can see what I'm doing for the building of the journal, but I do highly recommend that you go over to Susie's channel and check out her work and her tutorials. So I've got my pages torn down to something that I think will work for my book. I'll probably have to make some adjustments as I go. So now I'm going to go along and I'm going to add some inking to the edges, not everywhere but just here and there. And I'm also going to add some sewing details with my sewing machine. So I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so I have added some stitching detail. I may add more as we go along, but for the moment that will do, and I've just stitched where the pages join to help give those a little bit more reinforcement as well. So the next thing I want to do is add some pockets. So these are the papers from that Finnabair paper collection. And all these little scraps and bits that I tore off earlier, I've kept all those aside because I might use those for embellishing as well. Now when Susie created her pockets, she stitched some of them straight in. I'm actually just going to take my pockets to my sewing machine and put a faux or a line of stitching around so it looks like they've been sewn in, but then I'm just going to glue them in later. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing in my pockets. Okay, so I've just got my covers clipped on for the moment because I wanted to see what my book would look like with my covers where they are. Now, when Susie did her tutorial, she was very mindful not to let the pages creep below the edge of her. I think she used a tag for her covers. I have exceeded the length of my covers, but this paper is extremely thick. I think it's like 300 GSM. I actually did find the cover for the papers nestled in amongst the papers, and it is called Ninth Wave by Finnabair. Doesn't say what the GSM is, but it's extremely heavy cardstock, so I'm not so worried about it sort of standing on its edge as much. I don't think the papers will give too much. So the next thing I want to do is attach my covers, but because you can see parts of my covers behind the paper, I want to do something to the back of those. So I think I'm just going to ink them to begin with and then have another look. I've added several pockets throughout, but I may end up adding a few more. I'm not 100% sure yet. So the next thing I'm going to do is attach the covers. Now what I've got here is just some black food colouring, which actually doesn't look black when it's sprayed. It just looks like a very, very dark brown, and just some water. So I'm going to use this to give me a little bit of variation on the cover here. So now to attach this cover, I want to make sure that it's aligned with the other cover. Now I'm not going to say this one's front and this one's back because it could actually work either way, and it'll just depend how I feel once it's all finished. So I'm going to try to make sure that's lined up whilst I figure out where I want to tuck in these little extra pieces. I've decided to add these because I just felt this was a little bit stark on the front. Now to help me get this in the right place so I can glue, I'm just going to pop a little bit of double-sided tape on the back here. And I'm just lining up this corner with the cover on the back. So that's where I need that to be. Now I can go in with some glue And just realised I forgot to ink around the edge there, so that's going to be a bit problematic. See if I can take it off before it's fully set. This paper's pretty thick and forgiving, so it might let me get away with it. Okay, sit that out of the way while I ink. Okay, bring that back in and try again. So I'm just going to put these paper clips on here to hold my cover firmly so it can dry. And I think I'll leave this video here, and next time we come back we will start working on our pages and possibly some ephemera for the inside. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!